This football extravaganza on SportsZone is brought to you by Daikin.
Everywhere with you.
Daikin.
Good day, Singapore. This is former Manchester United player Peter Schmeichel, and you're listening to the guys on 938 Live Sports.
From 938 Live.
This is Formula One driver Fernando Alonso.
Hi Singapore, I'm Jürgen Klinsmann.
Hi, I'm Martin Tyler.
This is Annika Sorensen.
Hi Singapore, this is Johnny Wilson. You're locked on to the best in sports. Cheers.
You're listening to Singapore's longest running and only sports talk show on radio. A good Saturday and welcome to SportsZone on 938 Live. I'm Noor Farhan and later I'll be joined by Today Newspaper's Deputy Sports Editor Philip Goh. And today we turn the spotlight on the 2014 World Cup. Now the opening ceremony took place yesterday morning and so did the opener that saw hosts Brazil beat Croatia 3-1. And then there were the games this morning too as Spain lost to Holland 5-1. Mexico beat Cameroon 1-0 and Chile beat Australia 3-1. Now the curtain raiser and the 4 matches so far have proved to be an exciting preview of what's to come in the next 4 weeks in the tournament. It had it all: goals, skills, hard tackles, sublime passes, and of course world-class stars in action. And today we'll preview the 16 teams from Groups E to H. We'll also be giving away prizes from Adidas and Sony Music. Now today you also stand a chance to win the official jerseys of Germany and Japan. We're giving away the large size version only though, and we're also giving away the official World Cup CD album, which has close to 20 tracks from several renowned artists like Shakira, J-Lo, Pitbull and Ricky Martin. Now my favorite song of course in this new album is Ricky Martin's Vida, which sounds a little like my favorite hit from the 1998 World Cup, The Cup of Life. So that's in our phone-in contest coming later when you have the chance to answer a simple question based on the World Cup. Alright, now just before we start talking about football, here's a quick note for the rugby fans in Singapore. Now, do you want to see your son or daughter be a part of history in Singapore's very first event at our brand new National Stadium? Next weekend, catch the exciting action at the inaugural Rugby World Club Tens, where 8 top-class elite professionals battle for glory. More than 10,000 tickets though have already been sold to catch the likes of the legendary Brumbies, which are the Super Rugby franchise from Australia, the Asia Pacific Dragons, and of course the Samoa national team. And then here's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for young rugby fans aged 6 to 16 to walk out onto the field with their favourite players. Now all you have to do is simply drop us an email at 938live@mediacorp.com.sg and tell us briefly why should your child be given a chance to win a once-in-a-lifetime experience, which includes 4 weekend tickets to the Rugby World Club Tens, a behind-the-scenes tour of the new National Stadium, and a chance for your child to be a team mascot and run out with one of the teams on Finals Day, which is on the Sunday 22nd of June. Now, closing date to send your emails is 16th of June 2014, which is on Monday noon. Alright then, now time to get back to football, and to help us with the previews of Groups E to H in the FIFA World Cup, we have 4 studio guests today, and they are from the 5-time S.League champions Tampines Rovers. Led by playmaker Shahdan Sulaiman, he's joined by fellow Singaporean international Shaiful Esa, new signing Joseph Kaplan, and striker Milan Merdakovic. Now, striker Noor Alam Shah isn't able to make it because of a coaching license, right? Yeah. Class C coaching license. Now, Shahdan, we'll talk about the Stags in a short while in the second half of the show. But for now, let's start with you and in Group E. Now, at first glance, it looks as if France are the easy favourites to progress from that group. They've also got Switzerland, Ecuador and Honduras there as well. But can you compare the French team of today with the World Cup winning team of 1998?
I think definitely they are comparable to the team of 98. I think they have enough quality today to be of quality like the team in 98. So I don't think there's any problem for them to qualify from this group.
But the team of 98, it had a major star in Zinedine Zidane. But this time round, their biggest star is Frank Ribery, but he's not here because of injury, right?
Well, they have others like Benzema, and I think they have enough quality to qualify from the group.
Alright then, one of the other favourites to qualify from the group is Switzerland. So what do you think about the Swiss? They've got a young, talented bunch, and the name that sticks out is Xherdan Shaqiri from Bayern Munich. But do you think they have enough quality to take them through to the next stage?
I think they have a decent chance to qualify for the next stage. I think in the qualifying rounds, they qualify without any defeats. And for Shaqiri, I think he's playing in a good team in Bayern, so I think he'll bring his experience to the team.
Most definitely. Now, Joseph, let's go over to you now. Let's switch over to Ecuador, who've managed to draw 2-2 in England in their friendly last week. Based on that alone, do you think they can maybe spring a surprise?
It's a little bit surprise, but it's only friendly game. The World Cup is something different. I think that everything will be depend how will be play against Switzerland and Honduras, because I think the France will be top of the table.
All right. Well, as you know, for the Ecuadorians, they have Antonio Valencia. He plays for Man United, but he didn't have a good season with the Red Devils this season.
Last time have I think big injury and he never recover good. He never come back good. So, but I think the team and national team is something different. I think he will be motivated and show something in the World Cup.
All right, now the other team which are in the group are, of course, Honduras, which is the weakest team in the pool. Now, they don't have much quality, but what they have going for them is their aggression. Well, they have a total of 7 yellow cards in the group stages in 2010, but Shaiful, you're a defender. Do you think that aggression is enough to win games?
I don't think aggression only counts in games, you know. You have to have quality also, and definitely you have to work very hard, because all the teams will be working very, very hard to qualify for the next group.
Yeah, but when you compare skillful teams like France, I mean, of course, the first instinct is to stop them with tackles. So, do you think that will be their game plan, just to be defensive and just pack that defense in front of goal?
Yeah, you can pack the bus in front of the goal, but, you know, if you concede free kicks and penalties, I don't think you can qualify from the group.
So you're saying you have to score, right, to win. You can't just defend. Right then, now, Milian, what's your overall opinion of Group E? If you look at it closely, France are not exactly in the best state because they don't have Frank Ribéry, which is their star, injured. And then if Karim Benzema, their next best player, fails to find the goal as a striker, they too could be knocked out of Group E. Don't you agree?
That's true, but I think this is the most soft group. I think that France will be first for sure, and then these 3 others national teams, they will fight for a second place.
Well, they can't afford to take second place actually. If they were to be the runners-up, their next team they would face is Argentina, which is a very, very strong team. So, do you think France must do well in this group stage to finish first?
Of course, I think they will 100% be first.
But then there will be pressure, isn't it? I mean, you got all the talent and everybody expect you to win. Don't you think that is pressure? Is that a good thing for the team?
Yeah, but sometimes pressure is good, because if you must do something, sometimes it's not good, but on the field you give maybe more than 100%, and then you became on what you need to do.
Shaiful, are you looking forward to seeing brilliant midfield play actually in this group? If you look at France, they have got a talented central midfield. Ecuador have got Antonio Valencia, and then Swiss have got their talented youngsters. But do you think that the battle will be in midfield for this group?
Definitely it will be in a better, because as you know that the France most of them came from PSG, and you know PSG now is a quality European club.
That's right.
So I guess this is all out to the midfield to hand on the job to the strikers.
Alright then, now let's very quickly go around the table. Do tell me which 2 teams will qualify from this group, which is Group E. Sharan, what's the obvious one for this one?
I think it will be France, and for second place it will be tough between Ecuador and Swiss, but I'm going to go with Switzerland.
And Milan, what do you think? France too?
I think France 100%, maybe Ecuador.
And Joseph?
Maybe France and Swiss.
Swiss, alright. And Shaiful?
Maybe France and Ecuador.
Ecuador, alright, the surprise package. Well, you're listening to SportsZone on 928 Live, and today we are previewing the 16 teams competing in Groups E to H at the upcoming World Cup. We also have 4 studio guests, and they are from Tampines Rovers of the S.League, led by playmaker Shadan Sulaiman. He's joined by fellow Singaporean international Shaiful Esa, new signing Joseph Kaplan, and striker Milan Merdakovic. Alright then, Shadan, let's move on away from Group E and let's check in with Group F. And we see a pretty interesting group, you know, with the favourites Argentina, the title favourites Argentina, and they're lumped together with dark horses Bosnia, Nigeria, and also Iran. Now, I'm sure you've noticed Messi. He performs very well for Barcelona, but not so well for Argentina. What do you think could be the possible reason for that?
I think that maybe due to pressure of being the captain of the team, I think he's putting too much pressure on himself. But I think he plays well under pressure. I think it's normal for him. I mean, if he doesn't score for one game, people are talking about him. That shows the quality of his game. I think it's probably the team play. They don't provide enough for him, and he has to try and do all by himself. That may be the reason.
Right, like in Barcelona, there's Xavi and Iniesta to provide that passes, right? But in Argentina, I only see mostly dribblers like Angel Di Maria. I mean, Ezekiel Lavezzi is a striker, so there's no one to give him the pass.
Yeah, exactly. Mostly wingers, individual play, and strikers. There's no one in midfield to provide for him, to play with him in midfield.
Well, I'm sure teams that face Argentina, the first thing they will do is to mark Messi out of the game. But do you think that his peers around him, like Lavezzi, Sergio Aguero, do you think they are able to step up and pick up the slack?
Definitely,
so
these names are they are quality players. So I think shouldn't be a problem for them to step up in case if Messi doesn't show up in the World Cup.
All right, and Joseph, but do you think Argentina can win the whole tournament based on the amount of talent, the quality in the squad? Is it enough?
I think Argentina this World Cup can go far away. Everything depends. The next step will be play against who, but I think this year Argentina have really very strong team.
All right, and other than Argentina, of course, is one of the mysterious unknowns, which is Iran. Where do you think Iran will fit in this group? Do you think they'll finish bottom? Because we don't see them winning much games in World Cup, don't you?
I don't think so. They finish bottom. Everything will be depend game each other against Bosnia and Nigeria, because I think Argentina will be top of the table. But everything can happen in the football, so we can expect everything.
Now, moving on, Milan, the Bosnians are not one to be underestimated. You're familiar with this team, aren't you? Because you're from Serbia, which is actually part of the country, isn't it?
Of course, before was the same country, Bosnia, Serbia, Croatia, Macedonia, Serbia, Montenegro. So that is like, I can say like my country. So I support them on this tournament. And I think that for sure they can pass the group.
And they qualified for the World Cup in the first time in the history. I mean, for a young nation, isn't it something very, very big in your opinion?
Yeah, you say first time in the history because they're like new country.
Yes, yeah.
So, of course, it may be surprise for other people, but for me it's not, because they have really very good players.
All right, and mentioning good players, there's of course Edin Dzeko, Manchester City striker, Miralem Pjanic, right?
Yeah,
Roma
they're the
playmakers,
biggest names, but they have also, maybe for you didn't hear for them, but now on this tournament for sure, many people will hear for many players of the Bosnia.
Right, still on Bosnia though, how do you think such a young and of course troubled history country produce such talented players like how we've mentioned earlier?
Yeah, like I already say, because in Balkan you have many talented players all the time, so they play in very big clubs, and I can say every year born many talented players on that part of Europe.
And their pride as well, right, to represent Bosnia. That would be their driving force to succeed.
Of course. I'm sure that they will give more than 100% every game.
All right, but that important game though, their next game is against Argentina on Monday morning. Argentina, as you know, a very, very talented squad. What do you think the result will be, seeing how you came from the region as well and all that?
Maybe for Bosnia it's not good that they play first game against Argentina. It's so tough game. But okay, let's see. Maybe they can make a surprise again.
All right. Now, Shaiful, one of the dark horses in the team is, of course, the Nigerians. Their next match will be against Iran. Do you think this is a giveaway, a very simple match for them?
No, I don't think so, because I think the Iran want to make a name for themselves in the big stage. But it will be a physical battle between these two. So I don't think it's going to be an easy game for Nigeria.
All right. But what would you make of this Nigerian squad of 2014? It's different from the Nigeria of last time. If you remember, there's JJ Okocha. That's one of the biggest names in Nigeria. But now I only recognize John Obi Mikel and Victor Moses. Do you think that they don't have enough quality players to make a difference in big games?
When it's time for them to step up during the World Cup and make a name for themselves, they have to do it for their country. So I think with hard work and teamwork, I think maybe they can make a surprise in this group.
All right. Now, Joseph, what do you think about this? Do you think star players are enough you have star players means you guarantee victory. Do you think that is the case, or do you think that teamwork is also important? The way they gel and all that.
It's a good have a star player in the team, but football don't play only star player. Football play first 11 plus bench. So they must play as a team. This is very important.
Right. And Shadan, do you agree? Especially for small teams without any quality, you have to rely on teamwork to succeed against these big teams.
I think definitely. I think with stars is good, but I mean football isn't played on papers. And I think it depends on the game day itself and what they show on the pitch. That's what matters most.
All right, then. Before we go over to the news, very quickly now, let's go around the table. Who do you think the top 2 teams will progress from Group F? Let's start with you, Milan. They have Bosnia, Nigeria, Iran, and Argentina.
For me, definitely Bosnia and Argentina.
Bosnia is number 1, Argentina too. All right. And Joseph, who do you think?
I think Argentina, and I want to see there also Bosnia.
Bosnia also.
Thank you, brother.
And Shaiful, who do you think will progress?
I agree with both of them.
So it's Bosnia power. And Shada?
Yeah,
how
definitely.
about
Argentina and Bosnia.
No Nigeria, perhaps? Surprise package?
I don't think so. I think Bosnia is going to make it through.
Well, that brings us to the end of the first half of Sports Zone. Coming up after the news headlines, we'll be talking about Groups G and H. Plus, it's your chance to win either a German national jersey or one from Japan and a CD copy of the official World Cup album. It's all happening on Sports Zone only on 938 Live.
This football extravaganza on Sports Zone is brought to you by Daikin.
Everywhere with you.
Daikin.
This football extravaganza on Sports Zone is brought to you by Daikin.
Everywhere with you.
Daikin.
Hey Singapore, this is former Liverpool and Real Madrid winger Steve McManaman. You're locked onto Sports Zone on 938 Live.
You're listening to Sports Zone on 938 Live. I'm Noor Farhan, flying solo today because our Deputy Sports Editor of Today paper, Philip Goh, won't be able to make it. And today, we'll be previewing the 16 teams competing in Groups E to H at the upcoming World Cup. We have 4 studio guests, and they are from Tampines Rovers of the S.League. Led by playmaker Sharan Sulaiman, he's joined by fellow Singaporean international Shaiful Esa, new signing Joseph Kaplan, and striker Milan Merdakovic. Now, Noah Alam Shah was supposed to come today, but he's got some coaching lessons to take part in today. But before we continue with the discussions on Groups G and H, time now for our contest. And those of you who have won prizes in the last 4 weeks on Sports Zone, you cannot take part today. Well, we're giving away the brand new World Team Federation jersey of Germany. It's worth $100. Now, first caller with the correct answer will win that jersey in large size. Second winner will get the stylish-looking Japan home jersey. And in addition, both winners will also get a copy of the latest World Cup album with the likes of the Baha Men, Sergio Mendes, Shakira and Ricky Martin all performing on this CD. The World Cup album also includes a special Asian version of Vida by Ricky Martin featuring our own Singapore Idol winner Cesari and Judika from Indonesia. The album is called One Love, One Rhythm and it's now available on iTunes, Spotify, Amped and all good record stores. So for a chance to win a fantastic Adidas jersey and the World Cup CD, call now and tell us the answer to this question. Now listen up, Brazilian star Neymar wears the number 10 jersey, but what number does Lionel Messi wear for Argentina? I repeat again, what number does Lionel Messi wear for Argentina? If you know the answer, call now. The number to dial is 669-11938. That's 669-11938. Meanwhile, time now to chat about Group G as we see the exciting pool consisting of Germany, Ghana, the United States and Portugal. And Sharan, let's begin with you again. Now, would you agree that this is one of the toughest group in the World Cup, like how they call it, the group of death, if you may?
I think probably, but having said that, I think all groups won't be easy. But seeing the teams in this group, I think this is the group of death.
All right, now let's first talk about the Americans, and they had a 12-game international winning streak that was ended by them losing to Costa Rica in the qualifiers. Is that a surprising loss? I mean, it's like a result that doesn't matter, basically.
I think having a 12-game unbeaten streak will be a morale booster coming into the World Cup. But I mean, losing to Costa Rica, of course, it doesn't hurt them in the World Cup. But having a loss before coming into the World Cup, I think will affect them mentally a bit.
Now, but do you think Team USA have got a good squad under coach Jurgen Klinsmann? Let's not forget he was the former coach of Germany as well, who are in the group. But they left out their star striker Landon Donovan in the squad. But do you think the Americans are in good hands?
I think definitely. I think the coach knows Germany, so I think he has his reasons for leaving Donovan out. But I think they are in good hands under him.
Now, Shaiful, let's go on to you now. Let's check in with Ghana. Now, they are the ones who knocked Team USA out in the 2010 edition in the round of 16 in South Africa. But can they hold up against Germany and Portugal for starters? Well, Ghana, their stars include Mikel Essien and Kevin Prince Boateng.
I don't think they can hold up to these two European giants. This Germany team and Portugal team have tremendous quality compared to this Ghana team.
Well, I'm not sure if you know this, but Kevin Prince Boateng from Ghana, he's got a brother in the German squad by the name of Jerome Boateng, and they don't like each other. Do you see an explosive clash, perhaps, that's, possibly very entertaining to watch, perhaps?
Possibly, yes. Because the brother is playing as a defender, and the other brother is playing as an attacking midfielder. Definitely they will meet each other.
Meet and clash, yes. Right? Well, the Ghanaians, of course, impressively walloped South Korea 4-0 in their previous, the pre-World Cup friendly earlier this week. But can they do the same to their opponents in Group G?
I don't think so, because there are too much quality in this group. And compared to these countries against South Korea, I think the gap is still a bit far.
All right. Now, Joseph, as you know, Germany is one of the strongest teams in the World Cup. They are the contenders for this year's trophy with their young and talented squad. And now, we all know Spain won the World Cup in 2010, but it was Germany that surprised everyone with their talent. But their performances in the friendlies haven't been too good or impressive. Do you see them slipping up?
How I say before, the friendly game is friendly game, World Cup is World Cup. I think, the Germany have really young and talented team. But everything will be depend how will be play in the group, because the group is not easy for them. So they must show the performance in the group, and everything depend of this.
All right. Now, I'm not sure if you know, but the team is made up of Dortmund-based players and Bayern Munich players. Now, these two teams, they play a bit different, because Dortmund is more of a defensive and then they counter-attack very fast, whereas Bayern Munich, they pass the ball around. So can these two types of players combine well and perform for Germany? What do you think?
I think the coach try now to combine these two teams, because he don't have choice. The Dortmund and Bayern Munich is the top team in the Bundesliga, so he don't have choice. Have to choose best player on the World Cup. So he have to teach them how to combine together.
All right, but perhaps a favorite player from this German squad?
I think Mesut Ozil. It's
the playmaker.
Yeah.
Do you like the way he plays though? Because he's the type who sits behind the striker and gives that good attacking through balls. Do you think
he can give unbelievable ball?
Now, before we go any further though, let's announce our two contest winners. Now I ask you, what number does Lionel Messi wear for Argentina? And the answer, of course, is number 10, the Playmakers shirt, if you may. And congratulations to our winners, Jimmy Lim and Richard Tan. Now, Jimmy Lim wins a Germany jersey and the World Cup CD, while Richard wins the Japan jersey and the World Cup CD as well. Now, more details of the jerseys can be found on their Adidas SG Facebook page, or you can go down to Wisma Asia and check out their pop-up store, which contains all the World Cup merchandise. And as for the CD album, which is called One Love, One Rhythm, it's now available on iTunes, Spotify, Amped, and all good record stores. Thanks once again to Adidas Singapore and Sony Music for our prizes. Now, let's get back to our show now. It's time to talk about Portugal, Shadan, and it seems that it's all about Cristiano Ronaldo. Everywhere you go, billboards, advertisements, he's the man leading the country to greatness, so to speak. But is it all just about Ronaldo?
It seems like it. Whenever he's not playing in their friendly matches recently, they don't seem to be convincing winners over the other teams. And when he played in the last game, they won convincingly. So I think he's the main man for Portugal.
Right. Now, but Shaiful, if you notice, Ronaldo, he doesn't really perform well in internationals as well, just like Lionel Messi. Do you think that Ronaldo, though, this is his last chance to help his team win something big? Because on the international stage, they've won basically nothing.
But like I say, football is not a one-man game. You need the other players also to give him the balls that he need. So I think this is the time for Ronaldo to win something for Portugal.
But you don't think that Ronaldo, you take him out of Portugal will crumble to bits? He is, after all, the World Player of the Year for this year.
Yes, like Shadan said, it's not a convincing team if Ronaldo is not in the team. It's just a average team. But when he's in, Portugal became an awesome team.
Right. Now, but Milan, what do you think of Ronaldo? Do you think there's too much focus on him as a player? The squad, it just crumbles without him.
Yeah, of course, he have to be like this because he's one of the best in the world. I think without him, Portugal is maybe 50% of that team. So if he will not play well, they cannot expect nothing.
Right. Joseph, do you agree? After all, if Ronaldo is on the team, Portugal as a whole seems to lift their game to another level.
I think so. The Portugal count of the Ronaldo. So if his team, the confidence of the team is higher than without him.
Right, now very quickly, let's go down around the table. Tell us the two teams which will qualify from Group G. Portugal, Germany,
Portugal.
And Shaiful.
Germany, Portugal.
No US? I mean, they are the other team. You think they'll finish last?
Don't think so.
And Joseph?
I think Germany, Portugal.
Germany, Portugal. And Milan?
Ghana, US.
Ghana and US because?
Because they say this too. Just to change a little bit.
Well, on that note, it's time for a Traffic Watch. And when we return, it's all about Group H as we talk about Belgium, South Korea, Algeria and Russia. And we'll also chat about Tampines Rovers' S.League club campaign. But right now, it's time for Traffic Watch.
Hey Singapore, this is Manchester United legend Lee Sharp. Stay locked on with the guys on SportsZone, only on 938 Live.
Welcome back to the final stretch of SportsZone, and just before we talk about Group H, let's talk about Tampines Rovers for a change. Now, Shaiful, the Stags are presently third on the table standings, and just last night against Harimau Muda B, the score was 1-0 in favour of Tampines Rovers. Now, your thoughts on your win in Pasir Gudang?
It's a good game. We had a lot of ball possession on their half. But our finishing wasn't clinical enough, so we managed to hit the post and score a goal, but was given offside. So we managed just to score one goal.
Right, now people say that winning the title isn't as difficult as retaining it. Retaining a title because everybody's on your backs. What do you think about that?
It's not a new thing for me because during my season in SF Warriors, I've retained the title for 4 years in a row. So this thing is not a new thing, but definitely it's difficult because the other teams are looking to take the crown of the S.League title.
Right, now, Milan, how do you feel about the season so far, and in particular your performances?
About the team, I think that we are going well. Okay, not all the season till now, because we lost many points very easy. But on the end, I think and I hope that again we will be champion.
Right now, and Shadan, are you looking forward to the RHB Singapore Cup? That draw was made earlier this week, and you guys will be up against Tanjong Pagar in roughly about 2 weeks. Now, your thoughts on the cup campaign?
I think it will be a different ball game from the league. And having said that, they are the finalists last season, so I don't think it will be an easy match. But I think we will go all out in the RHB Singapore Cup.
Alright then, I'll wish the Stags the best of luck in the rest of your S.League campaign. Right, then let's now discuss Group H in the World Cup, and we have Belgium, South Korea, Algeria and Russia. And with us on the line is Liverpool legend and former Danish international Jan Molby. How are you doing this morning, Jan?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Yeah, I've been in Singapore for a few days. We just popped down to see some friends at Courts Megastore and looking forward to the World Cup.
All right, then. Now let's talk about Group H in the World Cup. We've been previewing the other groups earlier on in our show, and many have tipped Belgium in Group H for great things in this campaign. Now they've got Simon Mignolet in goal, the Liverpool man, and they've got young, talented midfielders as well. But can Belgium easily top Group H?
I don't know whether they can easily top Group H. They've obviously got some very, very good players. They got their players now playing at the big clubs in Europe. But I also think that Russia will be very strong. They're an experienced team. They have an experienced manager. So whereas a lot of people expect big things for Belgium, I still think possibly at World Cup level they might lack a little bit of experience.
And you mentioned Russia early on, and do you think that Coach Fabio Capello is the man to somehow coax the best out of these guys to perhaps finish second or even first in the group?
Yeah, I mean, I would be surprised if they didn't go out the group, Russia. But the problem you've always got with Russia is they come into tournaments, a lot of big things are expected that they never quite deliver. But as I said before, they've got an experienced and talented group of players. They've got the right manager in charge. But in the World Cup, you play out of your comfort zone. You're in South America. Anything can happen.
All right, now I'm sure you know this as well. The Russians, they're made up of all of them are made up of players from the Russian league, and as you know, Russia is can get really icy up there. But as you know, South America, it's pretty hot given the tropical climate. Do you think there's going to be a problem right there in terms of acclimatizing to the weather?
Well, I mean, obviously you have to assume that they prepared in the right manner, and I think we've seen already with the European teams who've been in action, they all seem to have settled quite well. The conditions haven't been a great problem. I think the biggest problem for Russia is themselves. If they can get themselves motivated and get focused and want to deliver, I think they've got a real chance of getting out of this group.
Can I get your thoughts on two of tomorrow morning's matches? Let's start with England and Italy at 6 a.m. tomorrow. What do you think of this big one?
Well, I think it's difficult to predict. There's obviously big expectations for both teams, and Italy winning the World Cup in 2006. But I just happen to think with the two teams being in such a difficult group, and it's the first game of the group, to me, it just looks like a game that both teams don't want to lose, and I wouldn't be surprised if that match ended in a draw.
But what about the Liverpool boys in the England team? We've got Sturridge and Sterling, and of course Gerrard. Do you think they will step up their game on the international stage for the opener?
Well, I think the Liverpool players in the England team are the key players. You mentioned the likes of Sturridge, but let's not forget about Sterling as well. He's had a super season. I think Jordan Henderson could possibly have a big World Cup, and of course Gerrard, playing in his quarterback role, he'll be a very influential performer for England. But as I said before, this first game, it's a game you mustn't lose, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's a draw.
And what of the Group D match at 3 a.m. just before that? It's Uruguay against Costa Rica. Since Luis Suarez is still 50-50 for this game, can the Uruguayans win without him?
Yeah, they possibly can. I mean, Suarez is without any shadow of a doubt one of the best footballers in the world, and he will be ready for the England and the Italy game. It's just a question of whether he's 100% fit or not, but he's still a great player. But I think Uruguay, even without him, should have enough to beat Costa Rica. And obviously who goes through from that group is between England, is between Italy and of course Uruguay.
Right, on that note, thanks very much Jan for speaking to us on SportsZone, and enjoy the rest of your stay here in Singapore.
That's very kind, thank you.
Right, and that was Liverpool legend and ex-Danish international Jan Molby, who's in Singapore right now for a meet and greet session at the Courts Megastore event in Tampines. That event will take place about an hour from now, from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. So do turn up at Courts Megastore in Tampines to catch a glimpse of Jan Molby in Singapore. All right, now, Joseph, Jan spoke earlier about Group H, and he tipped Belgium to go far in the tournament. Do you agree with that?
I think Belgium few years ago already built a very strong team. Have young team and talented team. I think they can go far. They can go through from this group, and I think depend also the another opponent.
All right, Sharan, do you agree? Some say that the Belgium of 2014 is somehow like the Germany of 2010, whereby you got the young, speedy players. I mean, just to name a few Belgian young players, there's Adnan Januzaj for one, Kevin De Bruyne. Do you think that they can go far this time around, Belgium?
I think so. I think they are the team to watch this World Cup. I think they will go find this tournament, and they got, many players playing in top European leagues. So I think they will go through from this group.
Right, and Shaiful, what about Russia?
Russia have experience in this squad because most of them play together. So I think Russia will come in either first or second in this group.
Right, but what about the other two then? South Korea and Algeria. Do you think they'll be there just to make up the numbers? Or do you think South Korea in particular can maybe spring a surprise?
From the way the South Korean are playing, I don't think they can spring a surprise because before these pre-World Cup friendlies, they don't have the results that they need to mentally go into the World Cup and have a good World Cup.
And just now, earlier we mentioned how Ghana whacked them 4-0 in the friendly. So you don't think they can possibly bring out their best maybe in the group stages?
I don't think so because I think mentally it's disturbing for them to lose 4 against Ghana. So I don't think they're going to go out from this group.
Right, now let's go around the group with your picks for Group H, your top 2 teams for this pool. Shaiful, let's start with you.
Definitely Belgium and Russia.
Alright, and Shadan?
I think Belgium will top the group and Russia will be second.
And Joseph?
I agree with them. Belgium and Russia.
And Milan?
The same.
Alright, now just before we go, let's do a quick chat about yesterday's big game. I'm sure all of you have heard of it. How Spain got walloped by Holland 5-1. What do you make of that scoreline? I mean, Spain are, of course, the world champions, and the Netherlands were the runners-up in 2010. So, Shadan, what do you think?
I thought that the scoreline could have been more. I think in the last 10-15 minutes, Holland could have scored maybe 2-3 more. But having said that, I think the first half, Holland managed to hold Spain to a draw. And after that, I think the coach made a good plan to mark Xavi out in the match. And I thought after that, when Xavi was not playing, Spain wasn't themselves. They got no one else to do the passes like Xavi does. And they just couldn't attack like they always do.
Right, and Shaiful, I'm not sure if you noticed, but the Netherlands midfield of today, 2014 is different because last time they got Mark van Bommel and all those stars. But as you mentioned throughout the whole show, there are not many stars in this Netherlands team. It's mostly based on teamwork. So is this like a good example how teamwork can overcome a team filled with superstars?
Yes, definitely. And the gelling of the players, I think this workout for Van Gaal
is the one
against this Spain team.
Right. And Joseph, before the show we were talking about how Iker Casillas, he seems to be really off form. As you know, the last 2 seasons he hasn't been first choice at Real Madrid. Do you think his time is up in the Spanish national team?
I think so. After this World Cup, he have to retire because he already have his age already over. Or also we can saw in Champions League his performance was excellent before. Now I think the last chance the another keeper.
Yes. And Milan, what do you think about surprising scorelines like this? I mean 2 days ago, I'm sure you didn't imagine Spain, the champions, would be thrashed by Holland. Don't you agree?
Yeah, of course. Nobody expect that even maybe Spain can lose against Holland. Not even with this result. But this is football today. Everyone can beat everyone, so it will be interesting, this World Cup.
All right, now before we go, let's do an overall kind of prediction. Who do you think will win the World Cup? Based on, it's only a few games that has gone by, but who are your favourites to win this tournament? Milan, let's go with you first.
I think Brazil.
Brazil, because they are the host or because they are really good?
They are good, not really good. They are good, but because they play at their country, so I think
they could possibly win. Joseph, who do you think will win?
I think Argentina. Argentina have really strong team this World Cup.
And Lionel Messi maybe can star in this World Cup, perhaps.
I think so can because Argentina, Brazil, similar country. So I think he can show his talent there.
All right, and Shaiful, who is your favorite for the World Cup?
For me, Brazil.
Brazil, because they are the host too, because they got a home support.
Yes, definitely, because they had the home support and they want to bring the World Cup back to Brazil and show the people in Brazil because of all the fights over there. And if they want to bring them together for football.
Yes, that's a really interesting point you bring up there, Shaiful. And how about you, Sharan? Who do you think will lift the tournament then?
I think it will be Brazil.
Brazil.
I mean, because of history, no European teams have won on South American soil. And also having seen the first game, Brazil, who wasn't playing that well but managed to win 3-1. I think that shows the quality in the team, so it will be Brazil.
Alright then, that is our look at Groups E to H and also a bit about Spain and Holland this morning. And we hope our listeners are now more informed of the 16 teams. And thanks very much to Tampines Rovers FC, led by playmaker Sharan Sulaiman, defender Shaiful Esa, new signing Joseph Kaplan, and striker Milan Mrdakovic. Thanks as well to our contest winners, Jimmy Lim and Richard Tan. You'll be hearing from us soon. Well, you can catch Tampines Rovers at the Clementi Stadium next Thursday night as they face Hougang United. Then till next time on SportsZone, I'm Noor Farhan. Take care and bye for now.
This football extravaganza on SportsZone is brought to you by Daikin.
Everywhere with you.
Daikin.